Get ready with me to be interviewed by the insider. They had reached out because I guess they saw one or multiple of my videos about leaving the classroom. So I'm not exactly sure what they're going to ask me or talk to me about specifically, but I'm sure it has to do with why I left and all that jazz. So let's dive into a story I thought of. Something that happened during the time that that parent was protesting me, that kid was attacking me, like all the chaos was like really just hitting the fan, is I actually tried to reach out for like mental health help for myself through the district. It was probably my lowest point that year before I knew I was leaving at that point, but it was definitely my lowest point where I was like, I don't even know if I can make it to the end of the school year if I don't do something. This just exploded, so I have way too much on my face. I decided I would swallow my pride, and our admin really boasted all the time about how much mental health services they're providing for teachers and students and blah blah blah, and they would happily post like a weekly link to mental health services on their weekly posts that were so happy and everything was perfect. So I decided to swallow my pride and click on it and see what happened. Jump scare, I look like that early 2000s filter that's going around right now. Anyways, I clicked on the link and it was this whole like 2 or 3 page PDF that was explaining how free services for teachers and for educators and blah blah blah, and then at the very bottom it says, but if you want to call them you have to ask your administration or your HR the number to call. So it didn't even have any actual information on it. It was just like this for show brochure basically saying we have it, but you have to do a little bit of digging before you can actually find it. So I called HR. I told them who I was and the program I was calling about that was supposed to be free for teachers for like 3 sessions of therapy or something like that. And the HR person that answered had absolutely no idea what I was talking about. So I read her like the flyer and told them that our admin was posting this every single week, advertising it. So like, and it says to call you guys, so I don't know what to do from here. The lady in HR basically said that the person in the benefits department of HR just quit and left in the middle of the year, and that there is no replacement as of right now, and that they would know what that is. And since there's no one there, that she has no idea. So as someone who absolutely hates asking for help, this free help really was starting to turn into a much bigger task than I thought it was going to be. I was not okay, so I was venting about this to one of my teacher friends who luckily knew the phone number for the services. Needless to say, if I was any worse off than I already was, trust me, there's like many unspeakable things that I should have gone to therapy for in my life and just never did it because of I was too prideful. But this is the thing that finally I was like, I have to do something or else I'm not going to make it to the end of the school year. And if I was any worse off and I had to jump through all of those hoops, it quite possibly could have just ended badly. So for anyone else who was struggling, they were having to go through the exact same things that I was going through in order to get this free therapy, this amazing help that the district was doing, and it was just impossible to even get the free help. So I'm somebody who absolutely hates asking for help. Ask for it, especially when you're like not doing well, because you never know who's gonna have the answer that you can't find. I hope that you have like a teacher friend or somebody that you can lean on at your side if you are still teaching, because that is honestly what saved me, is our union and the close relationships I had with the amazing teachers I had at my site who were struggling just as much as I was. So I'm not exactly sure what this interview with the insider will be about 100%, but I'm sure it will trigger lots more memories for me to share with you all on here once it's over. So stay tuned and I'll let you know when it's out and about. Stay safe out there. And of course, now that I'm all ready, I get an email saying that their internet's all cut out and that we have to reschedule the interview. Well, at least I look good now for the day for no reason at all.